Good morning, everybody. It's a blessed love to everyone, and Mr. Give thanks and praise to Jesus for everything. Give him thanks for life. Give him thanks for health. Give him thanks for clothes in your back, the food that you're able to eat, and everything. You know what I'm saying? For family being around you, friends, well wishers, well the good ones. You know what I'm saying? And let's give thanks to God for everything. The word of God saying everything. Give thanks. You know what I'm saying? Now, my word today is called not all about the money. You know what I'm saying? And it goes two ways. But let me focus on something Monsieur Gwan. I'm not go in a relationship vibe yet. So, a matter of fact, let me just start with a relationship vibe because that one short and sweet, you know what I'm saying? Afterwards, me going to the situation with promoters and them kind of stuff. No relationship vibe. You know, one day I was watching a video where the man St. Matthew from Jamaica or minister. And he says something which is very true. Come and see it for myself a long time. But I'm not putting my version. Growing up, parents like to tell you, make sure you find a spouse that have all the money in the world and them kind of stuff. Make sure they're rich, make sure they have all the education and what's not. Let me tell you something. That teaching is not of God. And the reason why I say that, if you really love the person, you wouldn't love them for what they have. But the person must be trying. It's not a thing. I'm not talking about emotional situation, whatever it is. Emotional situation when them things come, of course, especially mostly women, they lead by emotion. So when they have a situation that they have to deal with, trust me, it will screw them up. But once they okay, they must be trying. I must have some patience. I learn some patience too, cause sometimes when they were not like that before, you know you got like a patience. But if they just don't care, even man too. If you see the man don't care, you not try. That's a problem. Once you see indolence in the picture, it's a problem. But if you see the person not try, not because you better have better stuff than what they have, me you must discriminate them and tell them that they ain't worth it. Because I watch people do things like that and they want to try and counsel people for marriage when their marriage ain't going nowhere because they're discriminating those who are being there for them all the time. It's wrong. The person may not have all you have. You may not have what all the person have, and you want them to accept you. So you should do the same for that person. If this is what I'm saying. So that's for the relationship vibe. Let's move on to talk about promoters and artists and them kind of stuff. Now I notice very much that let me start with the artists then before we go to the promoters. A lot of artists now may encourage you. The young and upcoming ones, I'm so glad my fiance encouraged me. Remember, you're doing it for the lad. And you have good people around me to do that. Because trust me, it takes a lot of strong people to keep you going. You may not make all the money right now. Be someone you're doing what. Don't sell out. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell out yourself to the wall. Because sometimes you will sell yourself to the wall. You're making all the money and you're still not happy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't be afraid when you reach a certain level to ask for different compensation. Don't be afraid to ask that. Now, if you know the person now make no money in the show, then you need to have some discretion. Come on, notice some artists they don't care. If you now give them X amount of money, they now show up to your concert. It's wrong. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? If the person can give you a blessing, accept the blessing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of artists they're very pompous and they don't know how to humble themselves when they feel the taste of money. You can't do things like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you tell them, okay, my price is this, but they say, okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if to get out. Anyway, you can work with them. Try and work with them. That's where the humility comes in. You try and work with them because if you ain't got it and you're trying to promote something and you know you ain't to pay the person, but you can't get them out that amount, you want them to try and work with you as a promoter. You know what I'm saying? So try and work with the person, see what they could do. Now it's not all the time you could work with them, but at least try to negotiate something because you know at some point money will come or money is coming. May not be hour to want the first time that you work with them, but this time now you are try to do something for the lad. You miss basically for the lad, but to know yes the money will come, person willing to play because the reward sweetens labor. You know what I'm saying? So just try to work with them and eventually more money will start to come because they know they respect you. You know what I'm saying? Do it with a humility spirit. Because trust me, even unsafe producers could sense when somebody humble or when they ain't humble. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to musicians as well. If you make a promise to do something, let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. I have seen a lot of musicians that tell you, yes, I will be in church X amount of time to do something. So, and then when you call them, you notice that they don't answer the phone the day they're supposed to, and they tell you, I went out to play at some place that they were paying me. Well, if you so want to leave to go and do higher price gig, why didn't you tell me that in advance for me to replace you, knowing that you want the money more than coming here? Nah, you don't do that. Because I would have already been looking forward to you being there versus you just not showing up and I have to find out for myself that you're not there. And 90% of the times you have to call them from a different number that they don't know so that they would answer because most of the time they see your number and they know they went for a higher price gig knowing that you're expecting them. They're not going to respond to your call. I'm going to be straight up. I'm not even cutting corners with anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And also, so that means don't do that. Now, I going down to my pet peeves right now. The promoters. Promoters, I could see a reason why so many gospel musicians and artists are so rebellious. 90% of the time is because of are you. And I'm going to be blunt and firm with it. Because our five producers said I am doing it for Jesus. As a matter of fact, more than half five producers. We're doing it for Jesus. Yes, you're doing it for Jesus. You're making money off of the event by tickets. Now, if it's just concession, they're going to say patience. You know what I'm saying? But you're selling tickets for them to come into your show. And when overseas artists coming in, you're quick to make sure you have money to pay the overseas artists them. But when it comes to local artists, you treat them like dogs. Y'all must stop it. A lot of time you'll be promising local artists you're gonna give them some kind of sweetening or some kind of compensation, and half of the time they don't see nothing coming in, but yes, still you want to bug them to do things the way you want them to do it. And it's wrong. Yes, you put a lot of work into it. But reward sweetens labor. You can't quick to sweeten the overseas artists them not coming. But your very own Thank you. Let me tell you something. If you making money for any event, nobody had time to hear no crap but thank you. Thank you is a common word you learn from a little baby. Give them some. If you can't pay them, give them a blessing. Yes, I am making money. So give them something. Because people, local art, let me tell you something, right? Local artists also dedicate their time and their energy towards your event the same way you dedicate your time in planning the event. Because the artists, especially when they come with their band, which is usually the case, they take their time and they practice so they can lift your event up to make that money that's supposed to be coming in from the tickets and whatever it is, concession and all this stuff. Just for the audience to be there, to see them, even if we are not the highlight of the show, they may not be the highlight of the show, but they come in to see all the performances. One or two may say, okay, I want to see this person even if it's local, you know what I'm saying? So don't look at this as, man, they only come to see the overseas artists. Stop it. Because guess what? Every overseas artist you bring down, you got to pay them. So why is it your local artists, you must give them a hard time? You can't do it. Like the man Jay Square in the song. When a tune from an overseas man playing, they play forward just the other way. But when it come to local music, there's no form of royalties. Yeah, I must stop it, man. Stop treating the locals like nothing. Because the locals are worth something. And the reason why I scream because 90% of the time the promoters as they play, they are so cheap. They pretend to be cheap and don't have any money, and they have all the money to pay all the overseas artists to the point where the next year they don't even want to put locals on the show because they want to be able to pay the overseas artists. Well, it's just fine because if you don't have money to pay everybody, you don't have money to pay everybody. But if you're gonna put people to do stuff and you're making money, give them something. Because one thing I've learned, reward sweetens labor. Cause guess what? People have their band coming in. If you can't sweeten the labor with something, how the man go bless their band with something out of what you give them? They can't. Because they have nothing to bless them with. It's like a business. If they don't make money, they can't pay the workers. And if you making money, and don't tell me you're not, because you are making money, well, because half of the time you have to go to sponsors, but you're making money from tickets, you're supposed to be able, even if you don't make enough, bless your locals with something to let them know that you appreciate them. A lot of times the promoters do not know how to appreciate their locals, so the locals have no respect for those promoters. I seen it myself, and trust me, it's a disgrace to the human race. If you're not making anything and it's a free concert, I could see patience because wow, you have nothing to give nobody. But the locals will be happy to come and minister to you because it's always going to give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? And in turn to give it a chance. Now, if they're doing real mediocrity and they ain't fit for the show, you have all right to tell them, as it turns out, you will need a little practice, but don't bash them. Tell me, you know, a little more practice and what's that, and then the next coming event will be able to accommodate you, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of time, we're quick to turn down locals that may not be up to par because you don't want to dish out no money. And to the straight, 90% of the time, I don't want to dish out no money, but I need to stop it. But when you see people up to par and they try and they gain to the level that you want, it's either you always finding something to tell them that they ain't making it, or you just don't want, or when you do put them on the show, you don't want to give them nothing. You can't be like that, man. And why you think a lot of locals don't really have respect for event, especially on the Virgin Islands? I'll tell you straight up. especially on the Virgin Islands. I have seen it all. Yes, it happens anywhere. A lot of places that you go, they don't like to pay the locals. They don't like to do nothing good for the locals. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you straight, I got to think about what I do when I don't want to give people nothing for what they do. Now, man, I say it's all about the money, but the thing about it is, 90% of our promoters is all about money. All about money. And how I know it's all about money because sometimes our whole attitude does change as soon as you think about money. Because some of my promoters have a very stinking attitude. So we know you are all about money, money, money. And it is wrong. Because the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And are you so all about money? I am not worried about the souls out there that perishing. So if I all about money, then pay your locals. And may I be realistic with whatever I'm saying. And I've seen it all right in my eyes. And it bothers me as a music minister. It bothers me to the core. Because if you're so all about money to the point where you're saying, if the person do, like for example, maybe real, come blunt with it. If the person fall in sin, I don't want him on my show until the hype dies down. But half our promoters, especially Christian promoters, ain't doing no better and living rather worse than them that make mistakes. Because why? Because I don't want money to come in for the show, and if they know this person, they're not gonna see. But if they know about half of your life, they won't even come. Maybe that's why half the times that you do events, the auditorium half empty. And I don't care who I put in on blast, because I'm gonna be realistic with it. Maybe that's why hardly anybody shows up to your event because they know about you. But I want to condemn other people, well, guess what? Fine. But keep in mind, it's not all about the money. And don't tell me in life, because you don't have money, you're not a winner. That teaching is of the devil. And I don't care. It is of the devil. Because Jesus Christ already said we are more than conquerors through him. So don't tell me because you don't make money for the show this year, you're not a winner. That's a lie. And that's what I tell our local artists, especially our upcoming artists, Those at my level, those below my level, those above my level. Because me not the best artists. Me tell you straight. Once you did for Jesus, not sell out. You know what I say? Because once you sell out to the world, you may be making all the money, but you may not be happy. Because I see musicians, even some who played for me already, tell me, let me know they were playing secular band and them kind of stuff because they won't get nowhere. Won't get no encouragement to play in the church. But they still were not happy. But it doesn't need the right set of people to encourage them. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? For money will always come. But promoters, I need to do better than that. I need to treat our locals better than that. And half of the time, my promoters want money. But I can tell you straight, half of our promoters very disorganized. Let me say it in Creole. Two bad guys say désolé. Are you very, everything is disorganized. I actually went to a show and I say it over the media because it is very disgusting. For one, you want money for your show, but to put the show, you want to promote the show a week before and expect people to turn out. Really? And then when you ask for the kind of compensation, I give you a bowl of food. Do I look like a dog? But if that's what you have, I'll take it, Sometimes you gotta be humble. In life, God, the Bible says God resists the proud and give grace to the humble. You know what I'm saying? But I've also seen events where they have no respect for locals. No respect whatsoever. You're making money off the show. You're asking for example, 20 United States dollars for each person. Because yes, here in the Virgin Islands, United States Virgin Islands, for sure, that's where I live, St. Thomas. We carry United States dollars currency. That is our main dollars here. So 20 United States dollars, that's probably 2,000 Jamaican dollars for those who are from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, you're making the money from the tickets that you are selling. You're telling your locals to be there for a certain time. Now you have a band who is like the one, the main highlight of the locals, that is doing his thing professionally. Believes in professionalism because everything that is done unto God must be done properly and professionally. I don't care what nobody say, oh, we just start my foot. Anything done for God must be done properly. The Bible itself says that decency and in order. And you telling people to come at this time to do sound check, yada yada yada. When they do show for the sound check, the instrument is not there until the time the show's supposed to start. Really? But as soon as the locals do something wrong, you have something to say about them. But nobody taking you serious. So why must you condemn the person? Yes, if we do something wrong, you have a right to tell us, you know what I'm saying? But you must also take advice. Because you can't want to be given advice and can't take. And I'm going to tell you straight, these are the people that I totally cannot take. Those who want to give advice and can't take advice, I will take your advice, put it in one and throw it in the next one. You ain't listen to people don't tell me no, don't tell me no BS. Sorry to say, but it's the truth. Because we happy to no one around, but if you can't take advice, doesn't make sense you give. In life, you have to give and take. But you want money. You want money, right? Now, we gotta do better than that. As promoters, artists, we tell you straight, sometimes we gotta humble ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? May go right back to the artists them. Musicians, you gotta do the same, be humble and thing, and not sell out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can't get that, you try to work with them. But at the same time, promoters, you need to open your heart to come more to them locals. Because trust me, sometimes the way we treat our locals, they don't want to do nothing on our show. You tell you straight up. The way we treat our locals, they don't want to take part on the show. Just because of how we've been treated. How they've been treated by us promoters. Musicians, sometimes we, like I say, artists, we need to humble ourselves to cause when we don't humble ourselves, the promoter spirit ain't gonna take us to want us ministering on the show. So me I balance it same way. Unless our promoters need to be humble too, I understand it ain't all about making money. If you're all about making money, guess what? You will not go worry about the souls out there that are perishing. Yes. Now let me tell you something, right? Now get me wrong. You need money to keep the gospel going. Because you need to pay for whichever facility you're using or what's not. You need the money to pay for your expenses, as you're gonna get a hit after the show is done. So don't get me wrong, you need the money, but at the same time, the money should not be your main focus. To the point where you treat your locals like dogs, and artists on a whole will forget what it is to be humble, that they're full of pride, that they don't even want to come and help you. That sometimes the Holy Spirit will be talking to some of them artists to just go ahead and spread the gospel. And they refuse because they are about the money. Let me tell you something, right? If everything goes well, I might be traveling for this show. And I tell you straight, this is my price. If they don't have enough to get here, well, guess what? We could negotiate it. Because the reason being, it ain't all about the money. It's about spreading the gospel. But the reason why we negotiate, because again, reward sweetens labor. Because ministry is work. And if you think it's easy work, think again. It is not. Because you're going to be ministering to all kind of people. And you have to pick and choose why you're going to minister to them, how you're going to present yourself to them too. Because if you don't present yourself in the right manner, they are not going to take heed to what you're telling them. So it is not easy work. But bless them with something, man. Promoters, come on. No, I use my main focus, yeah. Because it hurt me to see why promoter that treat the artists them. Give them something, man. Bless them, man, you know? You see me, I say. And maybe that's why some of the artists and musicians them are not humble because of how I deal with them. But me encourage artists and musicians same way. That so at least humble yourself because the Bible say, once you humble yourself, Father God gonna lift you up. You know what I'm saying? Promoters, humble yourself too. Because God will establish your organization even more to do more shows, better shows, and bring more crowd into your audience. Yes, sir. Anyway, bless up, one love, same way, give thanks and praise to Jesus Christ, you know. And I'm gonna say everything else unto the Lord, not unto the money. Bless up.